So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about symmetry and what is it. So when we talk about symmetry, there are a couple different types of ways to show that something is symmetrical, but we are going to be talking about linear symmetry today, which means that an object can be folded in half and shows the exact same thing on both sides. For example, a human is symmetrical. So if I stand here in front of you and I put a line down the center of my body, I have the same exact features on both sides. And when folded together, I would be the same on the left and the same on the right. One eye here, one eye here, one ear, and so on. So let's take a look at that in these shapes right here. And we're going to see which way we need to fold them to create symmetry. So this triangle, to create symmetry, if I draw a line straight down, the left and the right side are equal. If I folded this corner over, it would match up along with the top as well. Now let's see this square right here. If I fold my square in half like this, the left side and the right side are equal. So that means that it is symmetrical based on that line that I drew down the middle. Let's take a look at this shape here. If we put a line down the center, it does show symmetry. So we have a horizontal or a diagonal line here that if folded over would match this diagonal line here. Now, if I erase this and I draw a line halfway through this direction, if I folded the top over the bottom, would that be symmetrical? The answer is no, because this part right here does not match up with this part right here. So that line of symmetry is incorrect. So we're going to go and erase that. And we're going to put that line back in right there. Same goes for this kite shape. So if I were to draw a line straight down from this corner to this corner, there is a line of symmetry. The left and the right are the same. However, if I have the kite turned sideways and I draw a line from corner to corner, these two sides are no longer equal, so they are not symmetrical. So that is going to help you for the next step, which is the creation of your insect. So now we're going to look at the different parts of an insect. Insects are awesome for showing symmetry because if you divide an insect straight down the center, you're going to see that they have the exact same parts on the left side that they have on the right. So first, before we can create our insect, we need to talk about the different parts of the insect. So every single insect has three main parts: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. So for your drawing, you must make sure that you have these three sections of your insect to receive full credit. So again, we have the head, the thorax, thorax, and the abdomen. So these are the three main parts of the insect: head, thorax, abdomen. Here, here, and here, but insects also have other similar features. An insect might have antennas. So those are these right here. So you can add antennas to your insect. You can also add wings to your insect. And then the other important feature of an insect is that there are 6 legs. So 1, 2, 3 on the left, 1, 2, 3 on the right, equaling 6 to show symmetry. So you also want to make sure that if you are including the legs, that there will be 6 total. This creature right here. And I want you to try to guess why a spider is not an insect. If you guessed that there are 8 legs, not 6, that is the reason why spiders are not classified as insects. So we should not be creating a spider for our drawing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our knowledge of symmetry, we're going to take our knowledge of the parts of an insect, and then we're going to combine them to create our very own new insect. So what you want to avoid is going online and finding a picture of a butterfly or finding a picture of an ant and redrawing it. You want to be creative and think about different ways and different shapes that you can use for your insect. So we're going to start with the main parts of the insect body. So we want to make sure we have a head, we want to make sure we have a thorax, and we want to make sure we have an abdomen. So for the head, you can start off in many different ways. You can make a head that is super wide and long. That's kind of fun. I also want to include the thorax, which is the second section. Now I could make the thorax super skinny, but now it looks like a thumbtack, so I don't like that. So I'm going to erase it. I'm going to try out a thorax that is maybe a little bit more sharp, because an insect that you create can be any shape you want. Now the only thing that's a little off right now is if I were to divide this in half, it's not even. So I need to make sure that I go back and make sure that this is in fact symmetrical. So if this line goes out to here, I want to try to make it exactly the same on this side and then meet it in the middle. Now this shape is a lot more even than the one before. So I think I like that. I like the idea of kind of a funky, sharp insect. And now I need the abdomen. So I have to think of a shape that I want to use, and maybe I want to reuse the oval down here for my abdomen. No, I don't think I like that. So maybe instead I'm going to create a shape that can add a stinger. I like that idea. Now, I'm double checking. Yes, I am symmetrical. The left and the right are the same. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the extra parts. So maybe I want to add antennas. Now what you want to avoid is drawing lines and not shapes. What I mean by that is your antenna should not be a line. Your legs should not be lines. Your legs should be shapes. So what you want to turn them into are little worms or tubes instead of lines. You want to avoid having stick figure bugs. This helps with being able to fill in with color. If you have a line, you can't fill that in with color. So I'm going to go and fix this, turn it into a shape, make sure it's the same on both sides, same on both sides. So now I have 2 legs and I need 6. So I have to add 4 more. So I'm going to add a leg right here, making sure to keep it a tube, add a leg right here, and then I need 2 more to make it an insect. So the other things that I can add are I can make my insect have a face, and you can do this any way you want. I'm just going to make a simple 2 eyes and a mouth. And the last thing you can add is wings if you choose. So maybe I want to put just a little wing here behind these legs. There's 2 wings, 1 behind these legs. But uh-oh, this wing is so much bigger than this wing. So I can't have that. That's not symmetrical. So I'm gonna have to go back and fix this and try to make this one a little bit bigger to match this one. That's pretty good. Now the last thing we're gonna talk about is if you add color to your bug, it is very important that you're also thinking about symmetry when you add color. If you add a polka dot or a spot on your bug on the left with purple, you have to add the same spot on the right. If you add your legs and you want to color them in green, then you must color the same leg on the right the same color. You have to show symmetry by doing whatever's on the left the same on the right. Now I could take my bug and I can make stripes. And if I color in these stripes, I'm okay to color them straight across because the left and the right would be the same. So if I color in this top section with blue, is the left and the right the same? Yes, it is. So that's perfectly fine. So you guys are going to finish your insect by either adding color, or you can leave it black and white if you don't have color at home. You can also take construction paper and you can create your insect out of construction paper by cutting out the shapes. That's perfectly acceptable too. Any way you want to create your insect, whether it be online, on a piece of paper, is completely acceptable. And I really, really look forward to seeing all of your creations.